The first half of this week's Wrestling Open double main event is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first to my left from Springfield, Massachusetts, weighing in at a thick cut 250 Big Bacon, Brad Hollister. His opponent in the corner to my right, wrestling out of Mount Sinai, New York, weighing in at 257 pounds. Welcome back, Ryan Galeone!
Galeone is a monolith. Brad Hollister is going to be fighting an uphill battle tonight, but we know that there are no depths that he is not willing to stoop to, and we also know that Brad Hollister is also a very strong competitor. I think that he's going to need to use his lower center of gravity to get underneath Galeone and use his size against him. It's going to be the strength of Galeone, I think, against the suplexes of Hollister.
And even though there is a stark size disadvantage for Brad Hollister, he always thinks he's the biggest guy in the room, and he is not going to back down from Ryan Galeone. Whether or not that's a mistake, we'll see. Looks like a mistake, but no, Hollister back up. And usually opponents would go down
and stay down.
But ooh,
that'll stop your heart.
That will do a lot of things. I felt that over here. What are we, 20 yards away? I felt that in my chest. But again, Brad Hollister, with a lot to prove, runs into a clothesline. He goes down. Ryan Galeone looking good for his money early as there's a big boot. Calling Hollister into the center of the ring, trying that German suplex, no. Galeone runs into a back elbow. What is Hollister doing? Oh no! Oh boy!
He got caught!
Huge German suplex. It was like falling off a skyscraper for Brad Hollister. This does not look good for Bacon.
Bacon is going to have to try and regroup. Galeone is not giving him even a moment of separation.
Charges in, gonna try the monkey flip. Wow, he landed. There's a running European uppercut.
I can't believe that Bacon was able to land on his feet. He's lucky he didn't land outside of the ring.
Oh, good Lord, good night, Brad Hollister.
The reverberations of that dropkick echoing off the walls of the White Eagle and Worcester. They probably heard it all the way over at the Palladium.
A death-defying dropkick from Ryan Galeone. And I remember this. If he goes from the top, this could be a short night. He hits it. Brad Hollister's going down, and he's going down fast.
Nobody else can do that. Nobody else in the world can do that. That you can only see that right here from Ryan Galeone right here at Wrestling Open.
But he didn't make the cover, DC.
Oh, come on. These fans love Ryan Galeone. He's got 20 minutes to work with. He's not trying to get back on the plane to South Carolina.
Hey, you cannot let Brad Hollister back in. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I don't disagree with you, but I think that Ryan Galeone's having the time of his life right now, and that's at the expense of Big Bacon.
There is a knee. There is the pinfall. That is it. But that is what I'm talking about, DC. I agree with you. Ryan Galeone wants to get his money's worth, but I personally think that could be a huge mistake.
Hollister, we've seen it. He keeps trying to get to the ropes. He keeps trying to get to the floor. This time he's finally successful to get the separation he needs. But I don't know how much of a breather it's going to be. Galeone might leap over the top rope on him.
Or he might come out and send him crashing down onto that wood floor. No, sends him right back into the ring. Smart move by Galeone. But here comes Bacon. Look at that strength from Hollister.
That's what I'm talking about. Hollister just has to get underneath Galeone, and he can use his size against him.
There's a cover.
That big one-arm spine buster into the cover. Now just punching him in the ear, punching him in the eye. And that's the thing, right? You can spend all this time in the gym. You can get the biggest muscles that anybody's ever had. You can't work out your eyes. You can't work out your ears. You can't work out your nose. You can't work out your mouth. Those will always remain vulnerable spots on the anatomy, and Hollister knows to attack them.
And he knows that Ryan Galeone just slipped up. Brad Hollister, ultra confident, a veteran in our great sport at this point in his career. And when he went away after his knee injury that he picked up in this very building 2.5 years ago, he came back and said he wants to take out everybody's heroes. And he remembers that everybody in his mind, including the fans, including me, including you, including all the boys, he calls it, forgot about him, and he is taking out that anger here on Ryan Galeone.
Well, you want to draw the parallels. We saw the career resurgence that Ryan Galeone had at uncharted territory. Brad Hollister never got that opportunity because he did go out with that knee injury. So yeah, I'm sure that Brad Hollister is angry, but I bet he's jealous too.
Gonna try another German suplex as he took a shortcut to get that one. Hook of the leg.
How do you hook a leg against an opponent that size? How are you gonna, you can hook the leg, but then you can't really get coverage across the chest.
Because all of your strength is going toward that leg,
5 minutes have elapsed in the time limit. 15 minutes remain.
Where did that 5 minutes just go? I feel like we just started this match.
I don't know. I mean, Galeone came out hot out of the gate, launched like a cannonball. But now Hollister is going to slow things down, looking to make sure that Galeone cannot get the height advantage.
And Ryan Galeone has been woken up by these European uppercuts.
You gotta be careful, yeah, it might put him to sleep.
He is waiting. Hollister, there is a running European uppercut. He left his feet off that one. Another cover.
And see, Paul, that time more across the chest, right? Could have hooked the leg. How do you get coverage on an opponent the size of Ryan Galeone?
And now taunting this Worcester crowd is Brad Hollister, as he is resurging in his own right in confidence as he is trying to put Ryan Galeone out.
He couldn't even get the hold applied.
But the powerhouse Ryan Galeone continuing to fight here at the White Eagle.
He's got the inside of that wrist, bridge across the nose. Oh, just popped him. That'll make it difficult to breathe. That'll make it difficult to see. Your eyes and nose start to well up. The mucus starts to run. I'm not trying to be disgusting. You get hit in the face like that, it's very tough to concentrate.
And it is a lot harder to keep that hold in with this heat in this building. The sweat is flowing.
Now Galeone defiantly untying the beard and telling Hollister, I'm still in this fight.
There's a right hand and a big boot.
Oh my God.
Hollister back up to his feet. Look at that height from Galeone. The monster connects on that enziguri. Shoulder up at 2.
I don't know that it gets much closer than that, Paul.
As now Ryan Galeone, here's the thing, he unleashed so much of his offense early on.
Yeah, but
what does he have left?
He's got a deep arsenal. I think he's going to be looking for that power bomb. And just like that, Brad Hollister did his homework, was able to connect with a headbutt and buy himself a little bit of time. And so far, these German suplexes seem to have done the best job at wearing out Ryan Galeone. They do say, right, the old adage, the bigger you are, the harder you fall.
Now has him. Slams him down. There is the senton to follow from Hollister, makes the cover. And look at that strength, and Ryan Galeone is alive once again.
See, I think this is a smart move from Brad Hollister. I don't think he's going to be able to pin Galeone, so I think he's going to try and put him to sleep. We saw Galeone able to get the arm. I don't know, maybe he was going after the windpipe. But it's going to be tough to get him to submit. His long limbs bring him so close to the ropes. Now trying to attack the ears again, too.
Raining down shots. Once again is Big Bacon. Trying for that knockout blow. Brings Ryan Galeone in and hits the pop-up power bomb.
Couldn't even reach the leg.
Couldn't even get anything on that pinfall attempt. Ryan Galeone able to use his sheer brute force to get out, cause a near fall, and now Big Bacon, he is the one who has to dig deeper into his arsenal.
Well, I do think that if Hollister can find himself in the position, I know he likes to use that tornado into the jackhammer to jump off the second rope, controlling his opponent's head, uses momentum to lift them overhead just to drive them down into the pin. That is one hell of a maneuver. I've never seen anybody execute it like Brett Hollister. The problem is you need to do it against a standing opponent, and Galeone is crumpled in a heap of himself right now.
Galeone is out. Galeone is out. Brad Hollister calling for it, but he has to drag Galeone up into that corner to try to get that move done.
That's a big exertion of energy. I think that could be a big mistake.
And this is a huge mistake too.
Now this is just foolish.
Don't wake a sleeping literal giant, and that is what Brad Hollister is doing here in our first of 2 main events.
Yeah, you think that Galeone's big? Wait till Bear Boulder comes through the carpet.
Throwing desperation shots is Brad Hollister here. Galeone trying to stay on his feet. Look out! There is a big leaping knee from the monster. Up and down.
He slammed him like a basketball. That's a human being.
Hollister out at 2. Big Bacon practically went into the orbit of the White Eagle before he crashed back down to earth, but somehow able to survive, and that is what he is doing right now. He is in survival mode.
This is one of the most physical encounters we've ever seen. The 29 weeks of Wrestling Open, and it ain't done yet.
10 minutes have elapsed in the time limit. 10 minutes remain.
And now it's a slugfest. Now it is the adrenaline rush working through both of these men.
Hollister's fighting on instinct. He's going to know, though, right? These strikes are virtually ineffective.
There's a headbutt. Galeone wide awake here in our first of 2 main events. Hollister trying to claw. And a Saito, he is up. An adrenaline rush. And speaking of which, Galeone felt nothing.
I don't know how you couldn't feel that.
There's a kick to the side of the head.
That would break the backs of most men. Oh, lifted him up like it's nothing, like a pillow.
There's a jackknife from Galeone.
A 250-pound man. He picked up clean off the mat, lifted him over his head, slammed him down, and he still couldn't keep him down for 3 seconds. Brad Hollister is showing a lot tonight.
That was close. Dare I say that might have been a little too close for what I consider to be comfort, as I thought it was a 3 count there. But it was not. Referee Bill Thompson checking on Brad Hollister. I don't know if Brad Hollister knows this or not, but...
Well, forfeit the match. If you're hurt, forfeit the match.
Oh, what the hell was that? A right hand and a closed fist at that. No way. No way! Into the jackhammer from the second rope. Hollister just beat him. Hollister beat him.
The time of the fall, 11 minutes, 39 seconds. Here is your winner, Big Bacon, Brad Hollister.
And I don't like the way he did that at all. But nonetheless, Brad Hollister just beat Ryan Galeone.
If I'm Tyree Taylor and I'm sitting at home watching that, I'm not shaking in my boots, but I'm a little bit concerned.
It's going to give him pause. It has to, because Brad Hollister just overcame all of the odds and defeated Ryan Galeone on his return here to the White Eagle. That was a hell of a
An
contest.
inside-out jackhammer. I don't know that I've ever seen it before. And never mind the amount of size that Brad Hollister was giving up. If he could do that maneuver to an opponent the size of Galeone, I think he could do it to Tyree Taylor. And hopefully this is not the last we've seen of Ryan Galeone here in White Eagle, Worcester, Massachusetts.